So, as promised, egg freezing journey. I don't know where to start. I guess because I started this video process so late. So, I'll go over today's events. Today, I went for my baseline appointment. The baseline, just as any experiment or any process, you have your baseline. That's what you're starting at. So, what are my hormone levels at the time? What are my ovaries looking like as well? There was also blood work done. This is the very beginning of my first egg freezing cycle. Today is Thursday. Sunday night, I will start my injections. Egg freezing is very similar. Well, it's the same process as IVF. So I'll be taking IVF medication starting Sunday night. So I'll do that Sunday through Wednesday night. I'll go in on next Thursday, so a week from now, and that will be my first monitoring appointment. There, they will decide if I need to up my meds, decrease them. They will decide based on, I guess, how the eggs are growing. From that first monitoring appointment is when they'll decide how much monitoring they'll need to do for me. Now, about beginning pandemic, I began noticing some changes in my cycle, my monthly cycle. I was noticing more pain and cramping during the time of ovulation, which is typically a few days after your cycle. Now, it wasn't consistent. So I would say this is like maybe May, June, when I started noticing something was different. So towards the end of the year, and I'm like, okay, well, this pain has come back. It's a little bit more consistent. Luckily, it kind of fell in time for my annual exam. I went in January of 2021 for annual exam. During that time, I did explain what was going on. My PAP was normal. So, there wasn't really anything abnormal as far as what the eye could see. The PA suggested maybe it was stress. I was, finishing up my front end web development boot camp at the time. So during that time, I was stressed, doing a lot of things, trying to get my coding project completed. So it could have been stress. I also could have been dehydrated. We'll go with that. So, in 2 months, if you're still feeling this pain, come back. So, came back March. I was still having the pain. I had already been prescribed the 800 milligram ibuprofen. So, I had pain meds for that. So, we scheduled an ultrasound that was scheduled April. So, April, go in for my ultrasound. Now this was my first time getting a vaginal ultrasound. If you have not gotten this done before, it's not painful. I'm not gonna say similar to a PAP, because a PAP is very quick. Same concept. But in the midst of her probing through both vaginal and I guess a regular ultrasound. I don't know if there's another name for that, but the ultrasound you see on the movies when there's a pregnant mother. I could tell she was finding something. So there was a lot of clicking, taking pictures, on her screen and, just extra maneuvering and, I apologize. I'm trying to, get a full image. I understand, ma'am. No, no need for the apologies, but thank you. So from there, when she finished, go ahead and get dressed. I'm going to go find a doctor to come and talk to you. Those dreading words. That's enough right there to have you on 10. So, my emotions were definitely high because obviously she found something that's not supposed to be there. So that's when I found out that I had the cyst. So they, told me not to worry. They did some blood labs to make sure that it wasn't cancerous. And a week after the ultrasound, I came back for, follow up appointment, what they found. So there were cysts on both ovaries, as well as a single fibroid that was very small. And she said, nothing to worry about at this moment. But what we'll do, we'll put you on birth control and see what that does. Then we'll come back and go from there. So 3 months birth control, it did its thing, I guess. My cycles were never super crazy, to be completely honest. Always pretty short, not super heavy, pretty normal cycles for the most part. I was just now experiencing a different level of pain when my cycle was over, which definitely isn't normal. In conclusion, the cysts were causing these pains. So 3 months later, come back for another ultrasound after I have been on birth control now for 3 months. So August, go back in for my ultrasound, and there are still cysts. The cysts are there. I now have 6 plus fibroids. So many that she could not count. So in that time frame, the extra hormones, started a new relationship, the stress, inflammation, who knows exactly where fibroids, the cause. There's not a lot of studies of the fibroids and why we as Black women have them at a such higher rate. But yes, I went from 1 fibroid to now 6 plus, more than they can count within 3 months. So they then decided to do a discovery surgery, 2 procedures. They went into my belly button, an incision in my belly, and then they went in with a scope vaginally. I'm not going to sit here and try to pronounce the names of these procedures because I have no medical background. Just to, make sure that it wasn't PCOS or endometriosis. So they did biopsy. Nope, they didn't find any extra endometrial tissue. I did have a polyp, so that was removed, and they were able to drain a cyst. I think the one on the left side had released on its own. So the one on the right was drained at that time. I will say now, looking back on it, some pressure was definitely relieved from the cyst being drained. So now, fast forward, the procedure was done in October. I'm starting to feel, or the last 2 months, December, January, after my cycle, I did feel a significant amount of pain again. So I definitely, I knew the cysts were back. I also knew that this could potentially cause problems for egg retrieval. And indeed, after today's baseline and having a conversation with my doctor, the cysts are back, which may cause complications with the egg retrieval. So as of right now, the plan is to go ahead and begin the cycle as planned. So I will start my injections on this Sunday. I will go in for monitoring on Thursday. But there is a possibility that my cycle may have to be canceled because the cyst, and I don't know if I said this earlier. So the cysts are in my ovary, they're ovarian cysts. It's possible that because the cysts are there, it may not allow for eggs to grow, which is what we're trying to do during this process. IVF, you're trying to get as many eggs to grow as possible for retrieval. The cyst may cause some issues. So right now, the goal or the prayer is for the eggs to grow in front of the cyst and not behind. When they go in for retrieval, if they go through the cyst, it may cause more problems. Monitoring is included in the process, so it's nothing extra at this point. But there is a possibility that the egg retrieval itself may be canceled. Which is frustrating. A lot of money has been paid out of pocket, and I keep saying that's definitely a topic for another day. Um, yeah, I am. I'm frustrated, but definitely still hopeful that things will work out how it's supposed to. Um, yeah, so that's where we are as of today. Yeah, and and in trying to explain this, I have learned a lot about biology over these last few months that I did not know before. Cysts are part of the natural menstrual cycle. The only thing is the cysts are supposed to release on its own. But for whatever reason, my body likes to hold on to the cyst. And as I've said before, they come and go. I can't pinpoint. I'm pretty good at monitoring what changes are happening, but I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what is could be triggering them to stay. So at this point, it's just wait and see, wait and see. As I said, we'll start injections on Sunday. We'll do those for a few days, and hopefully next Thursday we'll have some good news. So keep you posted.